mynews.studio.
A single marine park that's bigger than some countries, now protecting whales and kelp forests. How exactly did Argentina manage that?
Today is June 8th, 2025. Argentina has just created Patagonia Azul Provincial Park, its largest coastal marine reserve. Nearly 300,000 hectares. Does that figure surprise you?
It really is enormous. That's over 700,000 acres along the Atlantic coast in Chubut. What stands out to me is how diverse the area it is. Over 60 islands, kelp forests, rocky shores. Why does all this matter?
These habitats are essential. Kelp forests act as nurseries for fish. And the islands? They're vital breeding spots for seabirds. More than 50 species of seabirds and marine mammals, think humpbacks, orcas, depend on this area. What do you think would happen if it weren't protected?
If this area wasn't under protection, the loss would be severe, not just for Argentina, but globally for biodiversity. And this move helps Argentina align with the UN goal, protecting 30% of the world's oceans by 2030. But how did the park actually come together?
Chubut's provincial legislature approved it unanimously. They expanded and merged existing protected areas, so it's not built from the ground up. But here's what's new. No-take zones. That means areas where fishing or any extraction isn't allowed. That's quite a shift, right?
No-take zones really do help marine populations rebound, but enforcement is the sticking point, isn't it? They're planning for marine patrols, satellite monitoring, and coordinated work between local and national agencies. But what about local involvement?
Local communities and tour operators are part of the conservation plan. They have a direct interest in keeping the park thriving. If tourism's handled carefully, it benefits everyone: jobs, education, conservation. What's the plan for tourism there?
They're developing trails, campsites, a biological station, and marine access points. Locals could work as guides or in hospitality. The revenue from tourism supports conservation. Do you see this as a sustainable funding model?
It certainly seems promising. Sustainable tourism gives people reasons to support conservation long-term. When visitors see the value in these places, support grows. But there's also the bigger global perspective here. Where does this fit into the international picture?
Argentina's move contributes to the UN's 30 by 30 target and sets an example. Protecting blue carbon habitats is part of this. So it's not just about species, but also about storing carbon to fight climate change. Do you think this could spark action in other countries?
It raises the bar. Using scientific evidence, involving local communities, and enforcing rules, these are takeaways for others. Plus, Patagonia Azul is now within the UNESCO-listed Patagonia Blue Biosphere Reserve. How does this link to other protected areas?
It fills in the gaps among Argentina's 16 protected areas in Chubut. It shows you can balance development and conservation. With climate change and overfishing becoming more intense, this might serve as a template for marine protection worldwide.
So this isn't just a local win, it sends a global message. Conservation, sustainable growth, and climate action all working together. Will other countries take note?
That's what we'll be watching. If this approach proves successful, it could reshape marine protection everywhere.
Today, we've explored how one marine park could shift the landscape for conservation, local communities, and the climate.
Thanks for joining us as we broke down the science, the planning, and what's at stake with Patagonia Azul.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.